is, so today we're just going to look at creating this little piece in Solidworks. It's a little hand wheel. It looks a bit tricky and awkward, but we're going to go step by step till we get it, and hopefully it's not too bad. So open up Solidworks and select new part. Select the right plane as your drawn plane and make this sketch. So first of all, put in a little center line going through your origin point. Again, center lines are useful because they're always fully defined. They're just usually acted as guidelines, and it's useful to know where your center point is. So put that in and then start to make a little drawing that looks something like this. Over and up, break, over and over, break. Select a tangent arc, select this point and that point, and draw a tangent between them. So that's the shape we're looking for. At the moment, dimensions don't matter, but we're going to use Smart Dimension now to make it. Just insert anything you want for your center line. It's only there as a guide. Then for this part, we want it to be 12.5. 12.5. Zoom in. We want this part to be, we want our overall height to be 45. So select our top line and our bottom line. Bring it over, enter 45. We want this to be 10. Okay, I'm over defined here somewhere or another. We want that to be a radius of 8. And now you can see we're fully defined and we get that shape. So I might have made life a little more tricky than I should have by the way I originally sketched the part, but try and get to here. So I'll try and move the dimensions so you can pause your screen and you have all the information you need. So again, you want a little part like that. Exit out of that. So we have a fully defined part, and what we want to do, well, if we look at this little hand wheel, we can see this little shape here. So I'm going to move this up. So we want to create this shape first of all, and we're going to use Revolve boss base to do that. So we can see that peculiar little drawing we have. Looks a bit odd, but when we use Revolve boss base, it'll make a bit more sense. Open, yeah, why not? So select Revolve boss base, select the line of revolution as that center line we put in, and you'll see the part rotates better. The easiest way to think of this is like a compass. So whatever shape is there, this swings it around the axis of revolution to create it. Again, after practice, you'll get more and more familiar with how that works and what it can do and why it's useful. So this is again only an introductory video, so just follow it step by step. It will in time click with you, I promise. Select OK, double tap your spacebar and go to isometric view. So now we've got that little view. What do we want to do? Okay, again select your right plane, go normal 2 and zoom out. You don't need to drag your plane over. I normally do. I find it just makes a bit more sense when I'm sketching it. Select sketch and select this ellipse. So somewhere up here in the top left hand corner, draw an ellipse. Again, it doesn't matter what shape or size, we're going to fix everything using Smart Dimension. So select point. We want to put a center point over here. So if we hover over this until that red amber square comes up, I'll put a point just bang in the center point of that square. It'll make our life easier for this task. Select the center of our ellipse, center point. We want that to be a height of 6. Input 6. And we want the distance from here. So hover over to get amber. And amber, we want that distance to be. I have to drop my glasses. We want it to be 85. Again, select Smart Dimension and click your ellipse. Ellipses are a bit different in the fact that nothing appears up here when we want to modify them. But if you come over here, you'll see an X and a Y. So ellipses aren't exactly square circles or squares. They're somewhere in between. They've got an X and a Y, and the shape of them depends on that. So in your X, put in 30. Sorry, ignore that. Then here, below the X, this shape here, which would be the X part of radius, put in 30. The Y, put in 25. Okay, so we're not fully defined. Sometimes in SolidWorks we just use this feature, go up here to Sketch, Display Delete Relations, come down, fully define our sketch, click that tick and just see what we're missing. So it also wanted no distance from there to there, but now it's automatically put that in and we're fully defined. So again, go to Features, Revolve Boss Base. We haven't got an axis revolution yet, so go back, Input Sketch, and again put in a center line going straight through the middle of this part. Again, center lines generally don't need to be defined. They're only there as guides. So go back, Revolve Boss Base, select this as your axis of revolution, select your ellipse, and you'll see we start to get that wheel type of shape that we're looking. So we're on track. Go back, isometric view. I always go to an isometric view just to understand where I am and what exactly I'm working with. So looking at that, I don't think it's just right. That looks a little bit too chunky. Again, I don't have dimensions in front of me, but the joy of SolidWorks is we can edit features and sketches, and SolidWorks will automatically update anything we do. So we go to the right plane and we look at our sketch, and we see what we can change to see if things can be any clearer. If we make this 37.5, that do, come out of it, select our arrow. Again, that's much too chunky looking. Go back, edit feature, and play about with a bit more. Right click Revolve, edit your sketch, Smart Dimension. I'll try making this 75, see what that does. Okay, refresh. Okay, that looks more like the type of shape we're looking for. Again, we've no drawings, so there's no real right or wrong. We're just looking for a general shape here. So we're happier that that looks a bit more like a steering wheel. Go to isometric view. Yeah, we're definitely happier. That's more along the track of what we're trying to do. Select your right plane. Go normal to it. And we want to use sketch. This time we don't want to use a straight line. We want to use this little squiggly line here. And we want to sketch on our right plane. So hover over your center somewhere. Select the line over. And then select the line somewhere up here. So when we use, when we use this spline feature, it means we can draw lines, but we can also edit the curves of them. Pulling on these little arrows, we start to get different little shapes, and we can move them to come to whatever type of shape we're looking for. So play about them until you're happy enough yourself, and there's no real right or wrong answer to this. Just go with something you think looks good. It might be a good steering wheel design or handwheel design. I think that there might be okay, so I'm going to go with it and click my tick. Okay, so this is probably not the most official way of doing this next part, but again, go isometric. Click the end of that spline that's sitting within that semicircle. Click your top plane, go again, click that end, click front plane, rotate around a little bit, and pick a circle. Now snap your circle to that end and draw it there, and Smart Dimension this circle. I want to say that's going to be 12. Fully defined because they're snapped to that other line. And select Sweep Boss Base. Now over here in Sweep Boss Base, you see you've got your outline and your path. So select the circle as your outline, and as your path, select that spline. If you scroll up, you'll see a yellow image showing what that's going to look like. So it's going to look something like this. Again, looks nearly right. We've got an awkward little part here. We'll fix that. Again, not the proper way, but we'll just fix it. Go to the front of your part. So go to the right hand part of your part. Fresh. It should be in here. So I want to edit that sketch with the spleen on it. So I just want to pull that back slightly. So it's not going to come out through the wheel. Somewhere like there. Refresh. So how are we looking? Yeah, that looks more right. So we're happy enough with that. Again, go isometric. And now we're going to use a circular pattern. So we could draw more of them spleens ourselves if we wanted to, but Solidworks has a handy feature called circular pattern. So select the direction. So if we want to put that pattern around the circle, what circle would we use? We'd use this circle here. And what feature or face is it we want to actually rotate around our circle? So select your sweep 1, and you can see it's showing you, okay, if we want to put 3 parts in our 306 around our circle, that's what it would look like. We can increase that number of parts any we want, and SolidWorks will automatically calculate what the distance should be to have equal spacing in there. So we could say 7, we'd get something like that. Nearly looks like a spider, a bit strange looking. We'll go back, edit our feature. We only want 3. So select 3, come out, select OK. Okay. And that is our hand wheel done. Again, we could be a bit more accurate with our spleen design and the way it's all going. We don't really want to get into that just yet. We just want to know that it exists. And the key feature for this one was to know that Revolve boss base exists. So hopefully that's another part done. Hopefully everyone's able to follow along. Again, any questions, give me a shout on Teams or email. I'll come back to this. Okay, cheers.